When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. Let's run a little information before we get into the story itself. I'll give you a rundown on Izuku's quirk, Hunter Fest. It boosts his strength and speed, agility, and all of his senses all at once for a short amount of time. Izuku can increase the Hunter Fest by training it. Like I said, the drawbacks on my community tab is stamina. It goes through stamina real fast. So he's going to have to do a lot of stamina training for all that. But let's get on to the next topic. Monsters and mythical monsters will be in this. So let's let you guys know ahead of time. And I will be implementing ghouls into this, but it's not from Tokyo Ghoul. It's a ghoul, fantasy ghoul. White, red eyes, eat dead bodies, vultures. And it's just my own spin on them. So, just to let you guys know, like I said, ahead of time. As we start our story off, after the trip to the quirk doctor, after the doctor explained her son's situation when it comes to his quirk, the quirk doctor explained there is a good chance that it might surface on his own, or it might just be it might just have to be triggered by a stressful situation or some sort of emotional trauma. They have no idea what type of power he will have when his quirk finally manifests, so they told Inko to be careful. Inko thanked the doctor and took her son home. Izuku was a bit disappointed that he doesn't have a quirk, well, a power now. He knows he has a quirk, but it's just sleeping. But after his mother explained to him that his quirk is just simply sleeping, several months later, random attacks started to happen during the night. Reports The reports of these attacks are just increasing in number, and the police station, or the police station, well, not the police station, but the police force, they simply don't know what to do, so they called in reinforcements from the heroes. Now, remember the rules. Don't open the door for anyone outside of your mommy. I should be back in the next few hours. Okay, Mom. Don't worry. I'll be fine. I just need to talk to someone. I need to go see your grandfather. And your aunt, my sister. Why don't you go upstairs and watch your All Might videos? Izuku gave his mom an innocent smile, then gave her a hug, then went upstairs to watch his All Might videos. He's no longer interested in. He was already, or he already forgot that he had a grandfather and an aunt when she mentioned he could watch his All Might videos. That boy of mine, so sweet. Hopefully he can keep that a bit longer before things start to heat up. If anyone knows what's going on, it would be my old man. If things get any worse, I'm going to have to get involved into monster hunting again. As Inko grabbed onto her bag and walked out of the front door, then locked it behind her, then took a bus to her father's the compound outside of the city. It took several hours to get there. It's so out of the way from any city that it's out in the wilderness. It's out of nowhere. After about a few hours, let's say 4 or 5, the bus finally stopped as Inca got off the bus and walked down the trail towards the huge old-fashioned Japanese compound. As Inca stepped in front of one of the guards that's guarding the main gate of the compound. "I'm here to see my father." "Oh, Lady Inco, we did not expect you. Please, come inside. Come in. Your father will be thrilled that you're paying him a visit." As they opened the pathway for Inca to step through. "Well, this place hasn't changed much. There's a lot more children here than the last time, but I guess I'm home for the time being. Let's get this done." The moment she made it to her old house, her sister came out the front door and immediately ran towards her sister and gave her a hug. As Ingo stepped out of the way as she falls down to the ground. "No, that wasn't very nice, but it's lovely to see you again, sister." As she got up from the floor, "Why are you, why are you here? You made it perfectly clear to Dad that you don't want to be part of the monster hunting. I always found it strange that you just stopped hunting and lived in the city." "I had my reasons, sister. Things have changed. I need to know a few things from Dad. Things are not looking good back in the city. I read a couple of reports about it. I was getting worried about you, sis. Things are indeed heating up in the city. I want to get this over with so I can get back to my son." "Wait, you have a son? I'm an aunt? Why didn't you tell me?" We really didn't leave off on a good end when I left, especially with father, and I've been too busy to venture back here." "You've always been like that. I do understand, sis, but I'm a bit hurt that you didn't tell me. After all, I am your sister." "I know, and I am sorry, but I didn't tell you. I ju- I'm just trying to keep my son away from the family business, but I'm starting to think that might not be an option anymore." "Come on. Father should be in his office." "So how has father been doing recently?" Still looking young, like he hasn't even hit his 30s yet. I swear he got lucky when he got his quirk. He still refuses to tell me his actual age. Comes to his age, he's very mysterious about it." The both sisters entered their father's office. "It's been far too long since I last saw you, daughter. You look well. I'm surprised to see you since our last conversation wasn't very civil." "Wouldn't have come here if I didn't have a choice, father. The attacks in the city at night are increasing nightly, and things are not looking to stop anytime soon. The city is no longer safe place for me and my son." Inka was quite surprised that her father wasn't even surprised by the mention of her son. "You're so much like your mother, very protective. Why aren't you a bit surprised I have a son?" "Like you knew." "I knew about your son, my grandson, for quite some time. It was your late husband who brought it to my attention, Hasashi." "Of course he would. He would, sorry. Of course he would. He's always been like that." "I do apologize. You have my sympathy. I might not have liked the guy, but he loved you. We still have hunters tracking down the monster that killed your husband. We still haven't heard anything back yet. As much as I want to take revenge for my husband's death, I have a little one to worry about. Vengeance will have to wait as long as as long as that monster is killed. I'm happy. This is going to be really hard for me to say, but Father, no longer safe in the city. I want to come back home with my son. Of course, dear. You're more than welcome. When do we expect you come back to the compound? Maybe in a few days. I have to get everything packed. I need to head back. I left my son by himself for a little bit just to come here. I wasn't sure how the reception would have been if I brought him. Daughter dear, we might have our different view of things, but your family, we will always be you and your son will always be welcome here, dear. I would never turn away my own grandson. We will always welcome, after all, we're family. Family is very important. Thank you, Father. I should be back in the next couple days. As Inca left the matter and head out of the compound to head back on the bus, when she finally arrived and head back to her house, as she walked through the door and went upstairs to see her son passed out watching some of his All Might videos, as she shut the TV off and placed him into the bed, then tucked him in and kissed him on the forehead, then shut the light off and slowly closed the door and head off to her room to sleep. She had a lot of things to do in the morning. She had to start packing the house. Before she went to bed, she created several magical circles, and all around the entrance or to the exit of all the windows and the doors. As all the magical circles connect to each other, as a huge one appeared on the middle of the floor, as an invisible barrier appears over the house. The next morning, she got up early, then went downstairs, down to her son's preschool to officially pull him out of school. She doesn't want them to be calling her wondering why her son hasn't been attending school. When she got done with that, she began packing the house until she got a knock on the door. As she opens up to see her sister there. Vex, what are you doing here? I figured you want some help packing, and I kind of want to see my nephew. Here's the little guy. It's still early, so he should be still asleep. I pulled him out of school today, so I just started packing. Come in, sis. With pleasure. You got some nice digs here. It's a really nice house. With the income I get from writing books, I get paid very well. And my late husband set aside a lot of money in case something did happen to any of us. He was always the cautious sort. Sadly, my son has taken a bit from his father when it came to being overly cautious. He was a good guy. I was saddened that I heard he died. He was always nice to me, even though I was quite a bitch back at it. No, I'm sorry. I was a bit of bitch to him back in when we were younger. That's how he's always have been. He's always saw good in people. He even found good in Dad, even though Dad didn't like him. Didn't like my late husband, but the feeling wasn't mutual, despite his harsh comments towards Asashi. He never once blamed him or talked bad about Dad. And that never changed his opinion over the years. Asashi was quite fond of Father. Apparently, he's been keeping in contact with Dad without me knowing, considering what happened earlier today with Dad. Are you alright? I shouldn't have said anything like that. You're fine, sis. I've already accepted reality of the situation. He's gone. And I mourn for him in my own way. I love that man, and I always will, but I have to take care of our son. That's my main priority. You were always strong willed, sister. You are very intimidating when you're younger, and still are. Maybe more now. Well, we were raised to be badass monster hunters. You're right about that, sis. While the two sisters were packing stuff, they heard someone coming down the stairs as a small green haired boy was rubbing the cobwebs from his eyes and gave his mom the most sweetest smile. As Ingo made her way over to her son and gave him a big hug. I really like that smile when you first get up in the morning. I would like you to meet someone, my sister, your aunt. Green hair, green eyes. Yeah, you're definitely my sister's kid. I'm Auntie Vex. As Vex, sorry, Vex could see the sparkles in the kid's eye as her nephew jumped up towards her without a second hesitation and gave his hand a hug. She was taken by surprise from the affection, but she returned the hug nonetheless. I adore her, Arthur. I adore him. You want to help me and your mom pack some stuff? Yeah. Oh, why are we packing? Are we moving again? Yeah, we're moving back to my old home, where your mother was raised. You're going to be able to meet your grandfather. I have a grandpa? As the young green-haired boy jumped up with excitement, knowing that he has a grandfather. After the two sisters calmed down the young boy by putting him in front of the TV and putting one of his All Might tapes into the VCR and leaving him in the room and setting him down with a bowl of cereal. As the two sisters continued to pack all of the important belongings that she needs, like the family photo album and a couple family heirlooms, like her late husband's sword that he had in the basement. Inga knew her husband had family, but he refused to talk about them. He could tell that, or she could tell that, there was some drama between her husband and his family. All she knows about her husband's family is that they're a long line of werewolf hunters. She made sure to pack the sword well enough so it doesn't accidentally drop out of the box, and if it managed to get it under his sheath by accidentally cutting someone. After all, there's a small boy living here, so she want to be extra careful, especially when there's a kid nearby. So she's doing the most reasonable thing that every parent should do: keep all the sharp objects in a box that's safe, that's on the ground, so it doesn't hurt her son by accident. She has a lot of weapons that she had in the basement of her own. After all, Inko knows how much he likes to explore when he sees new things. So, how did you get here, sis? I borrowed one of the moving trucks. You mean you stole it without telling them? Then taken it out of the compound. As she shrugged her shoulders, shoot me. It's not like it's not going to be there once I'm done with it. At least this time, when I borrow a vehicle, it will come back in one piece. Sorry, in one piece. You haven't changed one bit, sis. Can't can't blame a girl for wanting excitement now and then. Your so-called excitement made three. Sorry, your so-called excitement made three different packs of alphas totally despise you. I don't know what you did to piss them off, but the main fact that you accomplished that at the age of 13 is quite impressive in its own right. Couldn't take a joke. All I did was paint all the Alpha's vehicles into a bright pink color and sprayed a painting of a anime cat on their hoods of their cars or vehicles. You were such a pain growing up with, but I'm glad you're my sister. You do care, as she stretches her arms out. I'm saying sister hug. As Inko dodges attempts to hug as she falls down to the ground. You're so mean, as she makes fake tears, being over dramatic. As the both sisters start to laugh of this scenario, they remember, well, Inko remembers many times in the past, Vex would always try to hug her, and Inko would always step to the side, making her fall. It was a inside joke between the two sisters. Here, one second. Here, let me help you up. Thanks, sis. Thanks, sis. As Inko gave her sister a brief hug, when she got up to her feet, shall we continue packing? You've never actually engaged in the whole hug thing before. I changed a little bit when my son was born. I still can't believe the cold-hearted Huntress showed weakness. Inko knows her sister's only teasing her. I'm still the same cold-hearted Huntress. I'm a mother now. I dare anyone to try to hurt my boy, 'cause they won't live long. There it is, that same old fire you used to have. I like the new you. You found a good balance. Who you used to be and who you are now. Shall we continue packing, sister? So, what are you going to do? You know how things are going to. Sorry. You know how things are going. Things are going to get a whole lot worse before they get any better. I know, sis. That's why when Izuku gets the appropriate age, I will train him personally, so he has the skills to survive if things go where I think they're going. Well, damn, if you're personally training your son, he's going to be a fearsome opponent for any monster. I want to make myself perfectly clear, sis. I don't like the idea of my son hunting monsters, but I know the reality of the situation. He's going to have to survive. I will make sure he has his tools. So if he is in a situation where he has to fight a monster, if he has no other choice, then so be it. All right, sis, I get it. I don't want my nephew to put in danger either, you know, father. He's going to bring it up. I'm fully aware how our father thinks. I won't allow anyone to train him besides me. I also need to figure out how to wait to awaken his quirk. Awaken? What do you mean? His quirk hasn't manifested yet. It is dormant. I have no doubt his quirk will manifest if he's going to go through training taught by you. I might love and totally adore my little guy, but I will not go easy on him. Just because he's my son, he will get no special treatment. Like any cadet that's going through the monster hunter training that our family provides. I tend to forget you have mother's fire. I mostly take after Dad, but you take after Mom a lot. When Vex was cleaning the living room after they packed everything up in there, she noticed several magic circles around the house. I see you improved in barrier magic, Big Sis. It's quite impressive. After I mastered it and improved it, I just wanted to make sure my son was safe at night. So, and me, of course. So the barrier was necessary, even though I live in the city. And there's a lot of monsters out there, so there's no guarantee that they can't break through my barrier. I have precautions in case that ever arrives. You were always the most clever member of our family. You scare a lot of people, including me. Well, your driving scares me. After a few days packing and loading up everything on the truck, Vex stayed at her sister's house until she got everything packed and loaded up the truck. They finally driving away as Inko is driving the truck. She refuses to allow her sister to drive, while her son is in the same vehicle with her. As you see as you see the moving truck go through the gate of the compound, as they drove the truck to the manor, as the staff immediately began moving all of Inko's and her son's belongings, and as the staff began to unpack everything in their rooms, to put everything in order, as Inko is walking in with her son, or sorry, walking in with her sister while holding her son's hand, walking into the manor as they got to her father's office. "Hi, Dad. This is my son Izuku. Izuku, dear. This is your grandfather, Rin." "Are you sure, Mom? That's my grandpa? He's so young." And started to laugh uncontrollably. "So this is Izuku. He's definitely my grandson. Don't be fooled by my looks, grandson. I'm quite old. I won't specify how old I am, but just to let you know, I'm very old." As a month has passed, one day when there were... Sorry, give me a second, guys. Sorry again. As a month has passed, one day during their daily routine in the compound, Izuku's eyes begin to glow bright green color out of nowhere. Izuku is rushed... Well, Inko rushed her son over to her father's. She was panicking. She doesn't know what's going on with her son. She doesn't know if this is a quirk or if this is something else. Her father had a surprised expression on his face. "It's a good thing you brought him to me as fast as you did." As Ren placed his hand over his grandson's forehead, as Izuku begins to fall asleep, as Inko catches her son before he hit the ground. "Did you do to him, father?" "Relax, I just put him to sleep. For now, I'm about to reveal to you, daughter. I'm about to review something about our family. He's far too young to be exposed to this information already. I've already sent word to your sister. I'll be explaining everything when she gets here. I put this I put this on long for far too long." When Vex entered the room, as both sisters said at the same time, "What's going on, father?" "As you both know, I don't age like the rest of our family, father. For starters, the cause because of my quirk is... Well, for starters, the excuse because of my quirk, that was a lie. I just use it as a cover story. I have a quirk because I would have to be human. And of course, quirks can be passed on to animals. It's been studied and proven. But that's not why we're here." "What do you mean, father?" Well, daughters, there's no easy way to say this, but the both of you are par Hydra. You honestly think green hair and green eyes was a natural trait for humans? If this is true, Father, did Mother know? Inko's right. Mother would have noticed. Indeed, girls, your mother did know. That would make you two half Hydra and half human. What does this have to do with my son, though, Father? You see, my daughters, because you don't have a lot of active Hydra genes active in your body, you never displayed any of the Hydra abilities. My grandson, your son, has the most Hydra active genes I've seen ever. I don't know if he'll develop any powers from his heritage. This has never happened before, so this is new territory. What your son displayed today was the first stages of unlocking Hydra vision. All it does is increase his senses and his sight. And the nifty trick be able to see in the dark. That's always a plus. And I have no doubt he'll display more aspects of a Hydra as he grows. There is a chance that his Hydra genes will overtake his human genes, but I'll keep a watch on that. I don't know what will happen if that did happen. Like I said, daughters, this is very new. This is very new territory, and there's no other Hydras out in the world to to ask. Long story short, my daughters, I killed them. They wanted to wipe out humanity, and I did not agree with them. You understand, Father? We don't wish for you to revisit some painful memories. I agree with Vex. We might as well see a few things differently. But I'm still your daughter, and I do still love you, Father, regardless if you're human or Hydra. So we have Hydra blood in us. That does make that does make our family more deadly hunters. Indeed, daughters, it does. And I know you don't want others to train your son, but I need to make sure he knows how to use his these abilities once they manifest. Yeah, Father, if he displays abilities, I'll bring him to your attention so you could get it under control. I do appreciate your trust, daughter. I know you're quite protective over your son. As the years progress, more abilities did show up. Izuku did spend a lot of time with his grandfather to master each ability he found. He found out during training with his mother. He heals extremely fast, and his strength and speed is increasing day by day. Despite getting new abilities from his grandfather's side of the family, his quirk still hasn't manifested yet. Izuku did spend his childhood in safety, but outside of the compound, people are struggling just to stay alive. Heroes are doing their best but the hero organization is losing ground, and losing ground fast. Izuku quirk did finally manifest during one of his mother's harsh trainings. While he was dodging several knives, Izuku activated Hunter Fest and dodged knives with incredible speed. With this new burst of speed, Inko did notice the increased speed her son was going as she was watching him dodging knives from back to back each time she tries to increase the speed of the knife that she just threw. From that day, Inko He began working on his quirk on top of his regular training, as he did that continuously until he turned 14 years old. The day has finally arrived for Izuku's first hunt. Izuku and Inko are in one of the compound vehicles driving to the location where he's going to be doing his very first hunt. Are you sure I'm ready for this, Mom? I believe so, dear. I train you well. It's up to you to utilize what I've taught you on the field. What happened to this place? As he sees all the abandoned buildings, they abandoned this part of the city a year ago. We're here, son. Inko stopped the vehicle and handed her son his sword. This is your first hunt. By our family's traditions, I can't help you in any way. I understand, Mom. What am I hunting anyways? It's really up to you, dear. I'll be back in 5 days. Stay safe and good luck, son. I have no doubt you'll come back victorious in 5 days. Alright, Mom. Once Izuku got out of the car, she drove away back to the compound, leaving her son to his own devices. Well, at least I should find a home base if I'm going to be here for the next 5 days. It would be nice to have a place before dark hits. As you occasionally walk through the abandoned part of the city that have been overran by all different types of monsters, according to what I found out from Anti-Vex, this part of the city is overwhelmed by humanoid grayish creatures that likes to eat human flesh, dead or alive. I believe Anti-Vex call them ghouls. If I remember right from my lessons, ghouls are supposed to be quite strong, nowhere near the strength of a werewolf or a vampire, but enough for any random human to fall upon them. Luckily for me, I'm only half. So, something caught his eye. What do we have here? As you see several ghouls running down the street to the left. As he followed them, as he followed the ghouls, surrounding the girl around the same age with black hair, with one long green bang. Well, that's basically bright green. As the girl landed a powerful hit in the stomach of one of the ghouls when it tried to lunge at her, making the ghoul hit the stone wall hard, leaving cracks in the wall from the impact. Izuku leaned against the side of the wall and watched the girl fight. She seemed to be holding herself very well. He could tell she's not exactly human. For some reason, he could tell she's not fully human. He's still confused why he knows that, but he didn't really think much of it. He was quite curious about her, of what type of unhuman blood she has in her. He's never met anyone like him, outside of his family. While watching her fight, he noticed her eyes were starting to glow bright yellow, as the front row of ghouls turned to stone. Now that's interesting ability. There's only one monster from history that can do that. Medusa. She must come from her line. That's what you get, bastard, for ambushing me. I really don't want to deal with this right now. You're starting to fucking annoy me. I'm ending this, you lower tier monster. You're nothing but a bottom feeders. Time to turn you all to stone. As she turned all the ghouls in stone all at once, she thought she sensed something as she turned around to see no one there. About time, She turned around to see if someone's there. Izuku was already walking in a different direction to continue with his hunt as he finally found a home base, his old house, after using the key that his mom made for him when he was younger in case he got locked out. He was quite lucky that he still kept it. Unfortunately, the house remained abandoned since uh, him and his mom moved out. Izuku was thankful the house still had electricity. The grid hasn't been shut down just yet. He suspects the whole block has electricity. They'll probably shut it down eventually to conserve energy. But he's actually glad there's any electricity. As Izuku leaned against the wall in the living room and dropped his backpack and took out one of his rations. As a human Hydra hybrid, he doesn't require a whole lot of food. He eats less frequently than a human, so he brought enough rations to last a week in the abandoned city. He likes to keep himself prepared in case shit hit the fan. He's very overly cautious. He inherited from his father. And when it comes to sleep, he only needs a couple of hours. A normal human, it would take 8 hours for a human or 7 to get a full night rest. For Izuku, he only needs 3 to be fully rested. He was able to sleep. He's able to sleep longer, but he doesn't really need to. He planned to sleep for a little bit after he eats, then go out to scout in 3 hours to find out where the ghouls are coming from, their nest. He's going to hunt down. If he's going to hunt down anything, it's going to be the mother ghoul. They have a mentally they're very similar to a ant mentality. The mother ghoul acts as the queen. The study's proven that the mother ghoul has some sort of psychic link to all her children. The mother ghoul is able to reproduce on their own without having a mate, so they're asexual. I don't know what they call that. I don't remember. It's been a while since I used that word. So, long story short, it's able to reproduce on its own. So, let's continue. I've always found ghouls discussing vile things that needs to be eradicated. After about 3 hours, he got up and. Sorry, I'm just gonna stop that point. That's how Izuku thinks about ghouls. What I just said. Izuku always found ghouls. I just said that, so let's continue anyway. So, sorry about that, guys. I'm rambling. After about 3 hours, he got up got up and hid his backpack in his room under the loose floorboard by 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 using his old hiding spot that he likes to hide all his personal belongings when he was a kid. While his backpack is safe, he went out of his bedroom and walked out of the house and began his scouting mission to the concentrated area of the ghouls. The more concentrated they are, the more likelihood that their nest is nearby. After Izuku trailed a couple of stray ghouls, they led him right to the nest. He just had to follow them long enough. Into a subway station that led him through a tunnel they dug that leads deeper underground. Once he entered the cavern, it is infested with ghouls everywhere, snacking on random corpses they were managed to grab, human and some monsters. Izuku turned invisible is one of his favorite abilities he got from his Hydro blood. As he walked further into the subway to see the humongous fat ghoul scarfing down corpses in his mouth, Izuku suspects that the ghoul mother is about to give birth for more offspring. They tend to be more aggressive during the early stages of their pregnancy. The mother ghoul can birth about 20 ghouls at a time. When the mother ghoul screech, as every ghoul in the chamber turn around towards Izuku. Oh shit! They caught onto my scent. Well, crap. First group of ghouls lunged towards Izuku, displaying their sharp teeth and razor-sharp claws with their red, glowing eyes. With one swift motion by slowly drawing or unsheathing his sword out of his sheath, as he swung, his swung was so fast that there anyone could barely if anyone was there, they can only see after image of the blade as the group of ghouls fall into different pieces of flesh before they got too close to Izuku. As Izuku disengaged his invisibility or his cloak, if they can track him by his scent, being invisible would be pointless. As he gets into a swordman's stance, as he grab onto the hilt of his sword and draw out the blade, um, put his hand on the hilt, ready to draw his blade at any moment. His blade is pure black with a black hilt. The blade itself was made with a Hydro Fang that he got from his grandfather, as the sword was forged with the fang itself. The sword itself does have ability. He hasn't mastered it yet. He won't dare use it in a hunt without being properly tested. As you see the young Hydra human hybrid with a smirk on his face. Who wants to be next? Don't don't worry. Try not to get too jealous. You vultures. You will all get some. Izuku dodged to the right when a ghoul from behind tried to lunge at him. He unsheathed his sword and chopped the ghoul's head off as it rolls on the ground. Immediately after he killed the ghoul, he spin kicked the ghoul that was rushing towards him with their claws extended outwards to slash and bite, only for the ghoul to get kicked in the chest and go flying across the chamber, hitting the dirt wall. Izuku noticed the chamber itself. It's very, well, not stable. He could see the dirt falling from the impact he threw the ghoul to the wall. He lunged his sword right into a ghoul's skull, then yanked it out. As he jumps backwards to dodge several ghouls that were lunging towards him. Then the mother girl starts to screech and howl as she begins charging towards Izuku, as the huge mother ghoul tried to use her teeth to rip him apart, only to see Izuku to jump out of the way, dodging to the left. It's dawned to me that this clearly was a bad idea, but I'm in the thick of things now. I might as well finish what I started. God, I hate ghouls. As he noticed several ghouls start to pile through the entryways of the chamber, increasing the numbers of the ghouls. As Izuku noticed the expression on the mother's ghoul face, as she has a smirk on her face. Oh, you clever bitch. That's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night today. Judge my time zones. I'll catch you in the next video.